Welcome back to Studio One Vintage Guitars, New Zealand's home of vintage guitars. We have an HD-28 with us here. This is a brand new Martin that we've just got in. We literally pulled out of the case, so it's the factory strings, factory setup, straight out of the box. Just sounds amazing. You know, we've been saying it for the last year or so, but these brand new Martins are just on a new level. It seems like they're really putting effort into their standard models, the guitars that we all like to buy. You know, these are the guitars that the majority of Martin buyers aim to get, and they are exceptional out of the box. So, as you know, spruce top, rosewood back and sides. What's going on here is we have the new Lutz spruce, which is a hybrid, so it's in the Sitka kind of white spruce world, so it's a little bit brighter than Sitka. We have the Grover open backs on the back, we have the volute on the neck, we have a mahogany neck, ebony board with the 28 style diamonds on the fretboard, ebony bridge. At the moment, I believe we have plastic pins, we have bone, nut and saddle. Yeah, beautiful HD-28. The H stands for herringbone, and that's the herringbone that goes around here. That's something that's been with Martin for well over 100 years now. And we talk about the binding in the guitar has a significant impact on how the overall guitar sounds. You know, it's part of what vibrates. And the HD-28 is a key sound in the flat picking world, but also the finger picking world. So, speaking of finger picking, we'll do a little bit of Doc Watson for you. The Deep River. What else can we play? A little bit of Neil. Oh, well, how's it go? So if you're looking at these going into a dealership near you or coming down to see us, you'll just see these guitars are just, the craftsmanship is exceptional. They've really raised the game. And straight out of the box, sounding like this kind of means that the top is a little bit more vibrant maybe than they used to be, and they're probably cutting the wood itself to a maybe a slightly thinner standard, getting an idea of the strength of this new Lutz spruce and how thin they can go. It's a 25.4 scale length, so that's what we'd call in the Martin world long scale length. So that's what gives you a lot of the volume that these can produce. Scale length of a guitar is how long the strings are, and essentially the longer the strings is the more tension there is. The shorter the strings, the less tension, so that's why I say a modern triple O has a shorter scale length, kind of looser strings for finger picking. We're just using here, just straight out of the box, we've got a 60mm Martin orange pick here. Just something kind of cool we can do with these microphones. So I'm going to strum this. My body is against the guitar, against the back of the guitar, so I'm really kind of... I'll take my body off. So great for flat picking. I'd probably say in the flat picking world something this thin isn't ideal. If you're really into your flat picking, the kind of larger pick is something that we'd use, and getting closer to 1 mil really gives you something that you can push against. But the thing about these guitars is they don't have to be played in any certain way. You can play them in any tuning you want. You can play them really in any style. This is, why this kind of guitar is the iconic guitar that we all know, because it's so versatile and so many different artists have done something on this instrument. So keeping that in mind, we'll go. Do a little bit of finger picking. This is a song by David Quali, a German guitarist. The song's called Santa Cruz. It was very popular in the back of the start of the 70s in America, on the West Coast. I'm playing very lightly at the moment. Being hard. So a nice thing about the Dreadnought, if you're a finger picker, you can put lighter strings on them, so put lights or maybe even super lights. You've got to set your guitar up just right for that, adjust the truss rod, but then you can use the larger guitar. You can play it very lightly, you don't have to really dig into it. To get a good sound, a larger top gives you good projection, but then the headroom of the guitar kind of allows you to dig in a little bit and get a little bit more volume. So, if you're playing with a pick and playing bluegrass, you can get volume way up here, but if you want, take the tension off the guitar, play a little bit softer, you can still get a very good volume out of them. Something that, just a little side bit, back in the day, street performers, we're talking pre-1940s, 1930s, street performers would sometimes order deep body guitars, so they'd get a triple O, let's say a triple O, and they'd get it the depth of almost a Dreadnought here, just so they have a little bit more displacement, let's say, inside the guitar, so a little bit more chamber means a little bit more volume. Yeah, so these guitars are great and versatile for a lot of different ways of playing. A little shout out to we're playing HD-28, so we need to play a little bit of Michael Hedges. If you haven't heard of Michael Hedges as a guitarist, he was known affectionately as the Jimi Hendrix of acoustic guitar. He was a great innovator, and he incorporated a lot of open tunings to really kind of, in a way, you could say open tuning limits the guitar in a way, but sonically it kind of opens it up and creates a lot of possibilities. So what I've done here, I've tried to tune the guitar. What we've got going on is drop D, so D and A here, and then we have C, G, C, and E on top. And this is a song of his called Layover, so let's So you can, having the lower notes there kind of brings out the depth of the low end of this guitar, but then having open C on the top kind of brings a little bit of tension and brings out the top kind of 2 strings for a great melody. So yeah, once again, this is an HD-28. This is a brand new guitar from Martin. Very versatile. You can play all sorts of things on them. You can do all sorts of things with string tension. Highly recommend if you are in the Martin world. If you want a loud guitar, a Dreadnought's the way to go. The smaller guitars, you could say, are a little bit more balanced, but this really has a lot of potential in it. So if you're interested in one of these, you can get in touch with us. If you're not here in New Zealand or not here in Auckland, you can't make it to us, find your local Martin dealership and go and check these out. These are wonderful instruments. But if you're here in Auckland and you want to come down to one of the finest shops we've got in the city, you can come and check out all our lovely guitars. All the vintage ones are behind me, and we've got all the new ones plus custom shops all on the sides, and we have a bunch of electrics, which are growing by the week. Yeah, they've almost taken up their own rack. So we'll leave it there. Thank you very much to Josh Thomas behind the camera, to Ed Costello behind the microphones. Very good to be here. We'll have a good time. See you next time. Cheers.